Splash the sea turtle loved to swim fast. He felt the rush of the water against his shell and the thrill of speed. He zipped and zoomed through the coral, weaving in and out of the colorful formations. Zippy the shrimp, his best friend, tried to keep up, his tiny legs paddling furiously.
Slow down, Splash. You're going too fast.
Zippy cried, but Splash was too excited to listen. He loved the feeling of freedom. They raced past a school of clownfish, their scales flashing like underwater fireworks. Finally, they reached a cave covered in seaweed, its entrance dark and mysterious.
Fins, are you home? Splash called out, his voice echoing.
Inside the cave, Fins the octopus was busy with his experiments. He had beakers bubbling and tubes glowing. Fins loved science and was always working on something new.
Can't you see I'm working? Fin snapped, clearly annoyed.
He grumbled as Splash and Zippy zoomed past, causing a small commotion. Suddenly, a test tube went flying, narrowly missing Fins.
Hey, this is a lab, not a racetrack, Fins exclaimed, his tentacles flailing.
Splash giggled, unable to contain his amusement. He couldn't help but tease his grumpy friend, finding the situation too funny.
What's that bubbling goo, Fins? Splash asked, curious.
It's an experiment, Fins replied, still focused on his work. I'm trying to figure out why the coral is losing its color. It's a big mystery.
Just then, a huge shadow fell over the cave entrance, blocking the light. The water grew dark and cold, sending a shiver through the friends. Something big was out there, lurking just beyond their sight.
What's happening? Zippy asked, his voice trembling.
Splash whispered, his eyes wide with fear. Fins shivered. He had a bad feeling about what was coming next. The cave shook violently as something enormous slammed against the reef outside, sending tremors through the water.
What was that? Did you hear it too?
Zippy squeaked in fear, quickly hiding behind Splash's protective shell. Cautiously, they swam to the entrance of their cave and peeked out, their hearts pounding. A giant creature made entirely of trash loomed menacingly before them. Plastic bottles, tangled fishing nets, and old tires formed its massive, grotesque body. It was the biggest, scariest thing they'd ever seen. A true nightmare come to life.
It's the trash monster. We have to warn everyone,
cried a passing parrotfish, darting away in fear, its scales shimmering in the dim light. The trash monster roared, a terrifying sound like thunder mixed with the crunching of plastic and metal. It swung its giant arm, knocking over coral and scattering fish in every direction.
We have to do something, and we have to do it now.
Splash declared, his heart pounding with determination and fear. He knew they had to protect their home no matter the cost. Fins, usually calm and collected, looked worried and uncertain.
But what can we do against something so huge and powerful?
He asked, his tentacles trembling with fear and uncertainty. The trash monster was enormous, a moving mountain of garbage. Zippy, small but incredibly brave, pointed a tiny claw towards the monster.
Look over there. Do you see it?
He zoomed towards the trash monster, his movements quick and agile. The others watched in horror as Zippy zipped around the monster's head, expertly dodging a flailing net.
See that? Right there.
Zippy cried, pointing with urgency. Embedded deep inside the trash was a glowing green object, pulsating with an eerie light.
That's the source of its power. We need to find a way to remove it.
Fins, his scientific mind working quickly, examined the glowing object. He'd never seen anything like it before, and it puzzled him deeply.
It's a plastic core. This is the source of the pollution. It's absorbing energy from the ocean, making the trash monster stronger. This is why the ocean feels so weak.
But why? What could be the purpose of such a thing? Why would it want to hurt our home? Our beautiful reef is in danger.
Fins shook his head, unable to comprehend the reason behind such destruction.
I don't know, but we must find a way to stop it before it's too late. But we have to stop it. We can't let it destroy everything we love.
Suddenly, a wise old seahorse swam towards them, her eyes filled with ancient knowledge. She had lived on the reef for hundreds of years, witnessing many changes.
I know how to defeat the trash monster. Listen carefully. You need to find the golden algae. It holds the key to our salvation.
The others gathered around, eager for her wisdom, their hearts filled with hope. The old seahorse pointed a fin towards the deepest, darkest part of the ocean.
It grows in the trench of 10,000 leagues. It's a dangerous journey, but the golden algae is the only thing that can destroy the plastic core. We must act quickly.
Splash, brave and determined, knew what he had to do.
We'll find it!
He declared. Zippy nodded, his antennae twitching with excitement. Even Fins, usually cautious, felt a surge of hope.
Let's do this!
He said, gathering his equipment. And so the unlikely team set off on their perilous quest to save their reef and defeat the trash monster.